Good morning, everybody. How's it going? It's Victoria Lorient Fabish, registered psychotherapist, holistic psychotherapist, and I just want to talk to you about, firstly, beautiful day in Toronto, thankfully, and I just want to come at you about what I see very often in the office and myself I've gone through, which is the pain of transformation, the pain of growth. And the truth is that there's no way around the mountain. Pain will occur when we shake up what we feel is our routine, what we feel is our normal, and when we're going into a new normal, that can actually, we can actually experience, the joy that, we're changing something, but it can actually also be very painful to change what you are, what you are used to, what you just, And so as you're going toward the new, the unknown, the pain will start. But I just want to say that, has anyone seen Lord of the Rings by Tolkien or read the books? And I was a big fan of Lord of the Rings. Good morning, Rick. And I will say that Lord of the Rings, in my opinion, Tolkien was like a psychologist. He literally, I feel, if you analyze his books, and I did, and you analyze the movies, there's definitely a psychological component to it. And the character of Frodo, who is the main character, he's this little meek, small little character, but he is tasked with a very big job that is quite scary, that is quite arduous. It's a big journey. He's got to, I'm not going to tell you what he has to do, but it just is something that he needs to do that's quite big. And if he doesn't do it, very bad things will happen to him. And a lot of the time when we're faced with change, we need to face the arduous tasks of change and the arduous difficult things, because going backwards is not an option anymore. Often that's the case, that going backwards, yes, it's familiar, yes, it's the known, but it's not an option if you want to stay healthy, if you want to progress. So the character of Frodo bemoans his fate. It says, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this. And he cries out to Gandalf, who's this very large sort of paternalistic figure, who basically says, why are you, what's happening? Why are you so upset? He says, well, I've got to do this thing and I don't want to. And Gandalf says, well, and I have to do it alone, and I'm so alone. And Gandalf says, well, you don't have to do it alone. You don't have to you can ask for support. And so that also is a metaphor for when you are going through change, ask for support. You don't have to do it alone, but you still have to do it. You still have to go forward if you want to grow, if you want to transform. Number two that I really want to say is, Frodo's like, why do I have to do it? And a lot of people in my office are like, why do I have to do this? Why do I have to leave this abusive situation? Why do I have to go through this illness? Why do I have, people are like, why do I have to grow my business? You don't have to. But if I don't, then the business will, somehow suffer, or I won't be able to make enough money. Why? Why do I have to do these things is a big question that people will ask. And Gandalf, in the Tolkien series, says, because it's yours to do. So I love that answer, because it's yours to do, is what Gandalf says. And I really love that answer, because the truth is that when we are faced with difficult situations, which we know staying the same or going backwards will be a continuation of toxicity, unhealthiness, but going forward is unknown and scary, but necessary. The only thing you have to remember is no one's forcing you to do it. But why do you have to do it? Because it's yours to do. It's your lesson. It's your growth. It's your life. It's your transformation. And that is what people need to remember. And the truth is that there's no way around the mountain. You got to go in the series, in Lord of the Rings, Frodo and his crew of supporters, he doesn't do it alone, but they all got to go inside that mountain to retrieve a ring. And they've got to go in there, and it's scary, and it's unknown, and they've got to dig their way in, and they got to face all kinds of trials. but they're together and they're supported. And the point that I'm making here is that there's no way around the mountain. You can't go around the mountain. You can't go over the mountain, not often. You got to go through the mountain. And when you go through the mountain, you will learn different skills and different tools. And you will grow from those tools and those skills. And then you will get to the other side, because you will have gathered your support, you will have realized it's yours to do, and you will have decided that you have to be somewhat courageous to go through. And you don't always have to be courageous, because you can ask for help among your supporters. But you do need to do it if you want to grow, if you want to transform. And I believe you do. So pain of growth is normal. And there's no way around the mountain. And it's yours to do. And if you want to evolve, you need to do it. So it's important that you realize that, or not, but it's something that I feel is important to relay to you, that number one, you're not alone in your fear, and you're not alone in your experience of I'm afraid of the unknown. But you just need to understand that if you want to shift, if you want to grow, you got to jimmy yourself free from some of the extremely rote, overly routined part of you. And you need to challenge yourself, and you need to do some scary stuff. And to me, there's nothing more amazing in terms of self-esteem building than getting to the other side and deciding that you're going to do the journey, and deciding you're going to take it on. Even though people will say, what are you, crazy? Why are you challenging yourself in that way? But you deeply inside know to turn back, no option. You have comfort, you have familiarity, but you're not happy. And you're also possibly in a toxic situation. And you're with toxic people. To go forward is very scary. And that's when people experience tremendous amount of depression, anxiety, fear. And I'm just here to tell you, you don't have to do it alone. Get your supports, therapy, friends, online community. Reach out. Don't be alone with it, but keep moving forward. And it is very scary, but you will be okay. One step at a time. I see this every single day in my office. I see people who are moving forward in the scariest of situations: disease, unwellness, breakup of marriages, change of business, all that. Hi, Sandra. Hi, Eduardo. All of that. And so when people are experiencing these things, I want to just remind them that, yep, it's scary, and you're not alone, and you need to move forward. So I just want you to keep taking on what's yours, which is your learning, your lessons, your growth, and don't go the other way, because the other way is just stagnancy, but not only stagnancy, but often toxicity in many ways, and not healthy. Because why would you be changing the things that are healthy? I'm not just saying change for the sake of change. I'm saying change because of a necessity, right? Okay, and that's what's important. And I just want to continue to encourage you to tune in. Tomorrow I have a really cool guest who I would love you to hear. She's a performance coach, and she's going to talk about leadership. And also check out my YouTube channel, which is Ask Victoria. And also go to my website, visualizationworks.com, where you can get my books, which are right there. Find Your Self Culture, which is such a hero's journey. Find Your Self Culture. It is a spiritual warrior's journey to find your self culture. Not your family culture, not your country culture, your self culture. And that can be very scary. And also connecting, rewire your relationship culture, okay? And all of these things require tremendous courage and tremendous almost risk-taking going into the unknown. But you will grow, you will be happier, and you will be able to actually neutralize some of the depressiveness and some of the anxiety by doing this. Sometimes the depression and anxiety increases while you're doing it, but then as you're going through it in a supported way, it neutralizes. Have a brilliant day. Have a beautiful day, because it is gorgeous out there. And I'm thinking about you, and I'm sending you lots of love and lots of good vibrations. All right.